The Christmas Café was glowing with warm, soft lights, gentle music, and the quiet murmur of well-dressed guests enjoying the festive season. At one corner table sat a powerful CEO, alone, dressed in an elegant coat, scrolling through his phone while waiting for his order. To everyone else, he looked like someone who clearly belonged there. Then from the doorway, a poor girl stepped inside. Her clothes were worn, her shoes thin against the cold winter floor. She hesitated, clutching her bag, unsure if she should even be there. The cafe suddenly felt too bright, too polished for someone like her. Still, hunger and the cold pushed her forward. Gathering all her courage, she approached the CEO's table. Her voice trembled, but her eyes held honesty as she asked, "Is this seat only for the rich?" The question cut through the festive noise like silence after a bell. Conversations around them seemed to fade. The CEO slowly looked up, surprised not by her appearance, but by the depth of her words. It wasn't just a question about a chair. It was a question about belonging, dignity, and invisible social barriers. For a moment, the CEO said nothing. In that pause, memories surfaced, his own past struggles, the days when luxury cafes were places he only walked past. The girl stood still, expecting rejection, yet daring to hope. That single question transformed the atmosphere of the cafe. It forced everyone nearby to reflect on how easily society divides people by wealth, even in spaces meant for warmth and celebration. What seemed like a simple request became a powerful mirror, asking whether humanity still had room at the table for everyone. The girl's quiet question lingered in the air, heavier than any judgment or accusation. The CEO felt every eye, seen and unseen, resting on him. In that moment, his wealth, influence, and status meant nothing. What mattered was how he would respond as a human being. The cafe, once a place of comfort and routine, had suddenly become a stage where his true character would be revealed. He looked at the empty chair across from him. To the world, it was just a seat. To the girl, it represented acceptance or rejection. Years of success had taught him how to negotiate million-dollar deals. But this moment required something far more valuable: empathy. He realized that kindness is not measured by power, but by how one treats those who have none. As he listened to the soft Christmas music playing in the background, memories of his own struggles resurfaced, times when he was ignored, underestimated, or judged by appearances. Alone, the girl standing before him was a reflection of a past he had almost forgotten. Her question wasn't meant to challenge his authority, it challenged his humanity. The CEO understood that answering her meant choosing between ego and humility. He could protect the invisible walls built by society, or he could break them with a simple act of compassion. In that brief encounter, the cafe became a test far greater than any boardroom decision. This was not about wealth or status anymore. It was about dignity, inclusion, and the courage to see people beyond labels. The choice he made would define him not as a CEO, but as a person. What began as an awkward, uncertain exchange slowly transformed into a moment that neither of them would ever forget. The CEO gently gestured toward the empty chair, silently inviting the girl to sit. That small action carried more weight than any grand speech. As she took her seat, relief and disbelief crossed her face. Someone had seen her, not as poor or unwanted, but as worthy. As they sat together, the barrier between wealth and struggle began to fade. The CEO listened as the girl spoke about her life, her dreams, her hardships, and the quiet strength it took to face each day. For the first time in a long while, he wasn't thinking about profits or deadlines. He was present, fully aware that this simple conversation mattered more than any meeting waiting on his calendar. For the girl, this moment rewrote what she believed about people in power. She realized that kindness could exist even in places that once felt closed to her. The cafe, which had seemed intimidating and unreachable, now felt warm and human. Hope replaced fear, and dignity replaced doubt. For the CEO, the encounter became a turning point. He left the cafe changed, reminded that true success is not measured by wealth, but by the lives we touch. That single act of compassion stayed with him, influencing how he treated others and how he defined leadership. In the glow of Christmas lights, two very different lives crossed paths. What united them was not money or status, but humanity, proving that compassion has the power to change hearts, perspectives, and futures forever.